Welcome to our exciting lesson on relative clauses, the secret weapon for adding detail and clarity to your English communication. Today, we'll embark on a journey through the world of defining, non-defining, and connective relative clauses, learning how to use relative pronouns effectively in each case. So, get ready to take your English skills to new heights. Section 1. Defining relative clauses. The essential information providers. First up, let's talk about defining relative clauses. These are the clauses that provide crucial information to identify or define the noun they modify. They're like the missing puzzle pieces that complete the picture. Imagine you're telling a friend, "I'm looking for the book that I lent you last week." The defining clause, "that I lent you last week," is essential because it specifies which book you're talking about. Without it, your friend might be left scratching their head, wondering which book you mean. Defining relative clauses are usually introduced by the relative pronouns who for people, which or that for things, and whose for possession. They can also be introduced by the relative adverbs when, where, and why, which add even more context to the noun being described. Section 2. Relative pronouns in defining clauses, the cast of characters. Now, let's dive deeper into the relative pronouns used in defining clauses. When you're talking about people, who is your go-to pronoun as the subject, and whom or who as the object. But here's a little secret. In informal English, who often steals the spotlight from whom, and sometimes the pronoun can even be left out entirely when it's the object of the clause. It's like the pronoun is playing a game of hide and seek. For things, which and that are your trusty companions, both as subject and object pronouns. That is like the laid-back friend that's more common in informal situations. And just like with people, the pronoun can occasionally be dropped when it's the object. And let's not forget about whose, the possessive pronoun that works for both people and things. It's like the Swiss Army knife of relative pronouns. Section 3. Non-defining relative clauses, the bonus information givers. Now, let's explore the world of non-defining relative clauses. These clauses are like bonus features on a DVD. They provide additional information about a noun, but they're not essential to the main plot of the sentence. If you were to remove a non-defining clause, the core meaning of the sentence would still be intact. It's like removing a garnish from a dish. The main flavors are still there. To help distinguish them from their defining counterparts, non-defining clauses are usually set off by commas. It's like they're in a VIP section, separated from the rest of the sentence. In the non-defining clause world, who is the star for people and which for things. But that is nowhere to be seen. It's like it didn't get an invitation to this exclusive party. Section 4. Connective relative clauses. The story continuers. Connective relative clauses are like the smooth transitions in a well-told story. They're similar to non-defining clauses in that they add information and are set off by commas, but their role is a bit different. Instead of just providing extra details about a noun, connective clauses keep the narrative flowing by introducing new ideas related to the main clause. They're like the "and then what happened" of the sentence world. Connective clauses are usually introduced by the relative pronouns who, whom, whose, or which. And they often have a secret identity. They can be replaced by and or but, followed by a personal pronoun. It's like they have a superhero alter ego. While connective clauses are more common in written English, they're like the fancy outfit you might wear to a special occasion. not always necessary for everyday conversation, where shorter, simpler sentences are often preferred. Section 5. Commas, the tiny but mighty meaning makers. Commas might be small, but they pack a powerful punch when it comes to relative clauses. They're like the traffic signs that guide us through the sentence, telling us when to pause and how to interpret the meaning. The presence or absence of commas can completely change the message of a sentence. It's like the difference between saying, "Let's eat, Grandma," and "Let's eat, Grandma." One little comma can make a big difference. For example, take the sentence, "The students who arrived late missed the exam." Without commas, "who arrived late" is a defining clause, specifying which students missed the exam. But add commas around "who arrived late," and it becomes a non-defining clause, providing additional information about all the students. It's like the commas are the key that unlocks the clause's true meaning. Section 6. Whoever, whichever, whatever, the wild card. Relative pronouns. Now, let's meet the wild card relative pronouns. Whoever, whichever, and whatever. These pronouns are like the jokers in a deck of cards. They can stand in for a wide range of meanings. They can be used to introduce clauses that talk about a general or undefined person, thing, or situation. It's like they're saying, fill in the blank with whatever fits. Sometimes they mean the one who, or the thing that. Other times they mean no matter who, no matter which, or no matter what. And occasionally, they express the speaker's uncertainty or indifference, like a verbal shrug. These wildcard pronouns add flexibility and variety to our sentences, letting us express ideas that are open-ended or dependent on context. They're like the magic words that can change the meaning of a sentence with just a few letters. Congratulations, language learner. You've just explored the fascinating world of relative clauses and their role in making your English communication more detailed, clear, and engaging. From defining clauses that provide essential information, to non-defining and connective clauses that add depth and keep the story moving, you now have the tools to express yourself with greater precision and style. And don't forget the power of commas, those tiny punctuation marks that can change the meaning of a sentence with just a flick of the pen. They're like the secret code that unlocks the true intention behind your words.
Relative clauses here today. Clarify, lead the way. Defining, noun describe. With the clause you inscribe. Relative, clear and bright. Adding depth, day and night. Who and that, where and when. Use them right, now and then. Non-defining, extra flair. In commas, they appear. Who for people, which for things. Add detail with these strings. Relative, clear and bright. Adding depth, day and night. Who and that, where and when. Use them right, now and then. Tiny marks, grammar gifts, connective smooth transitions, flowing thoughts, no confusions. Who's and which join the plot, adding more, a whole lot. Relative, clear and bright, adding depth, day and night. Who and that, where and when. Use them right, now and then. Make them yours. Relative clauses open doors. In your writing, let shine. Master them, you'll be fine.